Yo everyone, I heard this new game called Hollow Knight came out recently. How about we take a brief break from the FromSoft game to check it out? Hollow Knight being an incredibly solid exploration game, obviously with strong Metroidvania influences, and having similar inspirations as the Souls games. I think this will be a good fit for the No Fast Travel series. So, can you beat Hollow Knight in its entirety without fast traveling? The main rule will be that I can't travel via the last stag through stag stations, as this is the main method of fast travel in this game. The quit to menu option in order to warp back to a bench will also not be allowed, as this can be abused to not have to backtrack for great distances. For instance, I could simply ignore benches along the way in an area, quit to menu, and be warped back to where I was before any path that was supposed to be only a one way. The point of the run is to see if this world can be physically traversed on foot, forwards and backwards, so I won't be doing this. It sort of defeats the purpose. I'll also not be abusing death respawns for the same reason. There will be a few more travel methods a little deeper into the game, you probably know the ones, but we'll discuss those as they become relevant. Alright, that should be all. Let's get into it. My first immediate priority for this run is going to get as many Geo as possible, so I did find all the little secret nukes and crannies for the rocks that have them and stuff. Why is that my first priority, you ask? This is why. For a run like this, the map is crucial, and having it both being updated and knowing where I am would be nice. I always had mixed feelings about the compass charm, and even the quote to some degree. I do respect the idea, and I can see how it adds an interesting dynamic to your playthrough, especially the first one, but obviously there are no more parts of most other games, so I can't deny I'm a little bit spoiled. Nevertheless, I haven't played this game all the way through in a few years, so I would need it anyway. I got the quill after getting the first map from Cornifer, and then I ended up farming a little more than I would have liked to get the compass, but I got it eventually. After that, on my way to False Night, I did come across the first stag station. I paid the toll simply to demonstrate it. 50 Geo isn't that bad, but as stated, these are the main method of fast travel that I will not allow. We're on foot all the way, baby. One upside of not using these is that we do get to save some Geo, although not a ton. After this I did fight False Night. I know I can skip it, but I would be losing out on the city crest, which would seriously hamper our traversal, especially when we can't fast travel. I went right ahead and got Vengeful Spirit, killed the armadillo bug thing, and then made my way back to Darthmouth again. Walking, of course. As you can see, the stag station door is still closed. I just wanted to buy some of the pins at the store here. They'll be extra useful to have as a reminder in this run. After that I remembered the other vendor that I can free a little deeper into Forgotten Crossroads, and I instantly regretted using up all these Geo so hastily. Oh well. We killed the Gross Mother. I became jealous I couldn't go to that vendor yet. Speaking of which, then I talked to Sly, and then made my way back to Darthmouth one more time for now. The only thing that really called to me was the Gathering Swarm. It wouldn't hurt for getting Geo faster, and in case they ever fell into spikes and the like. Especially given we do have to save for the Lumafly Lantern eventually, so why not? Now finally, we're done with Forgotten Crossroads, on our way to Green Path. Until we get the next two upgrades, we're very limited on where we can proceed to openly, so we'll be swiftly getting those two before exploring properly through the world. Now this is an important time to point out, even if you already believe you can or can't beat this game without fast travel, simply not having the option to fast travel does change the dynamic of how you explore as well. Because for instance, from here I won't have access to vendors for a good while. We'll have very specific pit stops if we find ourselves near there. So far we've been lucky that Darthmouth was right there, but no more, at least for a little while. Oh, also, I just want to point out that I'm writing the script as I do this run, so I'm going in just as blind as you are. Oh my god, it's Silksong! I went to buy the map of Green Path as soon as I found Cornifer, then made my way to find Hornet. I'm not a stalker, I swear. No, I swear I'm not! Well, deserved. Oh goddammit, I missed a shortcut or a bench. Okay, this time around, having more of the map accessible, I did find this bench with its toll, which is handy. Oh, there's a bench at the stag station. That makes sense. I just skipped it given the run. Christ, 140 Geo for the station? Guess I am saving more than I thought. Second round against Hornet went more smoothly, so I got Mothwing Cloak and made my way. One more upgrade to go before truly free exploration. I got a little turned around, thinking the path to Fungal Waste was here in Green Path, but no, I had to double back to the lower part of Forgotten Crossroads. So I did that, and then onto Fungal Waste. I got a Charm Notch while here, then got the map as soon as I could, of course, though that did take me in the opposite way of progression, though I'm fine with that, but I doubled back. Now, there is a drop here that seems like a point of no return, because the fall is too far down and you can't jump back up. But in this case, this is the path to the upgrade we need to get back up, so it's safe. It is a good warning in case you do want to do a run like this though. Drop downs are a severe danger in these kinds of runs, and it's more devious in a platformer since you may think you can get back up, as I did for this platform right here. But that's also another reason why I'm getting the Mantis Claw as soon as possible. Same goes for this drop down, you can't reach that lip anymore, and can't cross the acid yet, so keep stuff like that in mind. But yeah, got the Mantis Claw, and before going away, I am going to do the Mantis Lords. Now, I don't think I needed to do that, now that I see how the area is laid out before you fight them, but I did die once, and got them on my second attempt. Aside from liking the boss a lot, I fought them first in order to make sure this door is open here. It seems like it's always open and only closes when you get close to it before fighting the Mantis Lords, but just to be sure, I did fight them anyway. I won't be going in here yet, but if you know what's beyond here, you can probably have a good guess why I'm being safe. Anyway, I went ahead and went to City of Tears. From there, forgetting these enemies don't attack you anymore, so I did attack one. Oops. If you're aware of the City Crest path, this statue does lower behind you, but I was aware of that, and I prepared accordingly. First major thing I came across was a nailsmith, so what else to do with our excess geo? Hoard them, of course. What else am I supposed to do with my wealth? Spend it? Capitalism, baby! Okay, no, obviously I did upgrade my nail. Afterwards, I encountered Hornet again. She told me to bury myself in a grave of ash or something? I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. It was a little bit out of the way, but I did get the map for City of Tears, then went into the Soul Sanctum. There wasn't a ton to talk about here. I did almost die just to basic enemies before Soul Master, but I managed somehow. These enemies do suck in numbers. After that, Soul Master was a piece of cake. I didn't get anywhere near as close to dying as the last enemies. I think after you learn Soul Tyrant later on in the game, at any point in your life, you get a buff where you can't die to Soul Master anymore. Anyway, got Desolate Dive, which will definitely get us to a handful of new paths. I actually thought there was a way to get into the right half of the City of Tears from the City Crest path, but I was quickly reminded that there was not. As I said, been a minute since I played this. I made my way upwards into the left half, where I found this big lift, which I did take a moment to consider if this could be considered fast travel, but I don't really think it should. It's more of a shortcut, and things that take you from point A to point B exclusively, I tend to allow, even if you don't control your character as you travel. With that, I'm back in Forgotten Crossroads. I went to Sluber this time finally, with the Mantis Claw. Unfortunately, she didn't let me buy all her charm notches, since I didn't have enough charms, period. I didn't really want more than these two, but I had to buy all the charms she had, so she would let me buy a second notch. But I guess I'm good for it, whatever. I went ahead and went up to Darthmouth, and got the Lumify Lantern. I had just enough geo for it, and it stops me from risking all of them in case I die before getting my shade back. After this, I had a few choices, but I decided to go into the Crystal Peak next, as that is the nearest, and gives us a few things that are nice. I did have two paths I could take, having Desolate Dive and the Lumify Lantern, but I chose the dive one, as that's the cheapest one. The Crystal Peak map was a little harder to find than expected. It was almost near the end of the map, but I did find it eventually. I got the Shopkeeper key here, which I had forgotten about being here, but with that I did decide to kill Crystal Guardian to get some more Geo in that case, so I can buy more things back in Darthmouth after, along with the bench. So, I was originally going to go up here for a reward. This segment going up to there seemed like it wasn't supposed to be done by Pogo, so I wasn't sure if I could, and then near the end, sure enough, there's a vertical jump that's a tad too high, so fuck. Guess I'll just get my upgrade and go then. Or at least that was the plan. I wasn't going in the direction I thought I was going, and I ended up dropping into resting grounds. Welp, double foiled myself, I guess. I mean, whatever. I'll go back for the Crystal Heart later. We needed to come here anyway for the dream now. Now we can do the Dreamers. Speaking of which, I don't even know if I'll even get this, but I will not allow myself to use the Dream Gate, the ability later on that allows you to set a marker and warp there from anywhere. That's 100% fast traveling, so out of the question. Unfortunately, Cornifer was already gone, so I didn't get the map for resting grounds, but it's a small area anyhow. From there I took this lift here, and what do you know? It puts us in the right side of the City of Tears. So hey, that worked out fine. You know what? I don't feel like getting the wings. Of course, I know doing Watcher Nights this early might be rough. Even these enemies right here are a grind. But with the no fast travel restrictions, the less I have to backtrack, the better for me. And I learned this fight pretty good back in the day. I think I got it. I did kill one of them early with a chandelier above the room. The fight itself went pretty good. I got into one hairy spot when the second Watcher joined, mostly because I couldn't find a good healing spot for a little while, but I eventually got a few, and then went pretty well for the rest of the fight. So with that, we got our first streamer. But from there, back to Darthmat I went. In order to go a different path this time, I went backwards to where the City Crest statue closes behind you, and Desolate dived right here to get back out the other side. Then backtracked through Fungal Waste, into what is now infected Crossroads, and then finally to Dartmouth. I bought the map I missed, and then took the store key to Sly, and honestly, I didn't want anything he had too much, but I went ahead and bought it all anyway. Maybe I'll get another chance to stop by Salubra and get more notches later. From there, I went back to Crystal Peak. I literally just needed the heart, and I was done. So I did that real quick and got it. I ended up losing my rhythm in the platform challenge, and I did die once, but got it in the second time. Hell yeah, now we're really moving. Back in Dartmouth, apparently Sly just sells more mask fragments and stuff, so I ended up getting another mask. Okay, cool. I just expected to beat the game with 5, but I won't complain. Alright, now, let's actually progress in the game again. From Infected Crossroads, I took this little ledge here and Crystal Heart my way across the acid, instead of needing the acid bubble tier thing. Now I'm not entirely sure if this is an intended path, but you can reach Umu and beat him without that upgrade. Crystal Heart is enough. I had a sloppy first fight, because I forgot how it works at first. I just started swinging at it and it threw my rhythm, so I did die. Second run went better, but I choked a lot at the end, and my damage isn't great, so it's a long fight. And a third time, and a fourth time. This is getting ridiculous. I beat Watch's first try, come on. But thankfully, I did get him on 5th attempt. If you're wondering how you get to Monomon without the acid thingy, this is how. This does make me think it is fully intended, or at least that there is a way to get here with just Crystal Heart. I did try to get the Fog Canyon map, but it looks like maybe they expect you to have Monarch Wings. So well, I guess I won't be getting that. I'm done with the area anyway. Now, on our way to Deep Nest. I choose to go from the Fungal Waste, from this drop down right here, that falls below you, for maximum effect. As we discussed, drop downs like this can potentially be deadly, and this is the one area that did make me nervous for this run, because it's not completely clear if it's possible to get stuck here without a fast travel method. Now we do quickly find Cornifer, thankfully. I didn't realize this is where he'd be, but this gives us a good glimpse of some ways we could leave. There's a path immediately to the upper left, which I did check out, and it did lead us out to right next to the pit we dropped from. While that is a relief, we're not out of the woods yet. As to get to the Dreamer, we do have a couple more drops. It'll still be a risk. And sure enough, there's this drop down into the spring, for instance. To our right, it looks like we do have the tram, but I don't have the pass yet, so I'll have to leave that for later. Going left, I did sort of accidentally start going to the path of Nosk, so I did fight him. Now, look, I know it's not a hard fight. I just have really low damage, okay? That's it, I don't suck at this game. I don't. Anyway, I did go through with it for this pale ore. I was joking there, but I do need higher damage. After some pain trying to get the tree essence thing, I did eventually find the distant village. And then I fell down on an accident. Oops. I made it back shortly after, so I went straight to Hera. I'm a beast then, and I throw it carefully, because these guys do fuck me up pretty good. I still haven't got a chance to use that pillar, obviously. We reached Hera, and with that we found the last streamer. After totally not getting lost in the den, I made it out. And as you probably know, there is a stag station right next to the den. This is the main thing that made me wonder if you can't leave Deep Nest without fast travel, as I imagine this is what most people use to leave this dreadful place. But unfortunately, we can't take it, so we will have to leave another way. This is a good time to mention though, that there is one segment of the map that is technically locked out without the ability to fast travel, which I will show here on a different character, and it's a stag nest. You're supposed to reach this only once you unlock all the other stag stations, and the last stag will bring you here. So if you were to do a run like this, you'd be locked out of it. I said technically earlier, because apparently there is a platforming skip you can do with this fly enemy to pogo up there, presumably with monarch wings as well and all that. So I suppose if you really want to, maybe it'd be possible to get there even without taking the fast travel, but I'm unsure if it's intended. Before leaving Deep Nest, I did go ahead and went towards the tram pass, as I would rather not having to come back here later, even if I don't end up using it. I made it to the failed tramway, forgot about these awful enemies in here, but I was able to ton of them to beat him. Found the bench here, which I'd forgotten was here too, but definitely nice. I found the tram pass, so from there I had to make a choice on how to leave. There's a tram down below I mentioned earlier, but it was a little far, and I did keep that one door open from Vanta's village earlier, so I was curious if you could leave from there, plus it's not too far. Unfortunately, it looks like you can only go through here from Mantis village, as there is no path yet to backtrack for there. I assume you have to break the ceiling from above, and then it's open, but you can't do anything here. I checked the path that leads from the Queen's Garden earlier, and it doesn't look like you can get there yet without the Monarch Wings. We could go back through the fungal waste area where we dropped in, but I just want to explore all the paths. So I dropped back down to the spring, and then made my way to the tram. Now I did consider whether this should be allowed or not, as it is a form of travel of course, but just like the lifts, it only leads to very specific points on the map. So it's still limited, and it's an essential part of the world exploration, organically leading you places. Can we get a hell yeah for public transit? Now it does leave you in 3 different spots total, but I stayed in the middle path, because I knew that this path leads you back up to the City of Tears, where I can finally upgrade my nail one more time. After that, I guess we're out of Deep Nest, and we do have all the Dreamers. So from there, I went up to the crossroads. I took the left that takes you straight there, took a detour to Celebra. She let go of one more charm notch for me, thankfully. Then quick trip to Dearthmouth for anything I want there. And wow, I guess Cornifer retired, because every single map was here. This is what my map looked like by now, at the end of the game. From buying all those maps, I didn't have enough geo to buy the last mask Shard Sly was selling, but I would have needed one more to get another mask anyway, so I'm fine with missing out on it. But yeah, off to the Temple of the Black Egg now. Turns out I completed 45% of the game, pretty good for not being my focus at all, and just exploring things as I feel like it. But yeah, on to the Hollow Knight. I did that once, died a second time, I didn't find a good place to heal and my calls were bad. The third one was going better, I had a few close calls, though I managed to heal up some, but I didn't expect to be reached by this attack. Fourth one didn't go so great. I wish I could make the same joke for Pure Vessel as I did for Soul Master and Tyrant, but the Hollow Knight does have some other moves that are different enough to make it its own fight. And then the run after that was pretty clean, mostly because I didn't get hit so much in the beginning, so I wasn't scrambling to heal. Once I hit the sad music part, I figured it was over, since it does leave a lot more room for just willing on the boss. I imagine my damage is still a little bit low. And sure enough, I got them during the 5th attempt. So yeah, we were able to hit the credits of Hollow Knight without fast traveling. Only took a bit over 10 hours. But why stop there? We did get a bad ending of sorts, so why don't we try and go for the true ending, since we still got parts of the map to explore. The first order of business is to go to the Abyss and pick up the Shade Cloak. So I took the City of Tears left from Crossroads again, then made my way to Ancient Basin. Oh, right, I need King's Brand. Okay, first let's go get Monarch Wings then. My first fight with Broken Vessel was a little bit hairy for a bit there, needing to heal a chunk of the fight, but not long after I did beat him. My damage is probably a little bit high for this fight, so I got the wings straight away. I did go right back and fought Lost Kin, as I will need Essence for the true ending now, at least 1800. In this case, they did kill me once. Finding healing spots is even harder of course, and even when the boss is staggered, the little orange blobs can mess with you. I had a better second run. I tried to just overpower when I thought it was a few hits away, but it did kill me by fucking landing on me during a stagger. The third one I could feel my Hall of Gods instincts kicking back in, because I was in a good rhythm for most of it, but I got greedy and wanted to use Vengeful Spirit more than heal, and you can guess how that went. Fourth attempt was really close I think, but I dodged right into a orange blob I couldn't see because of the background, and the attack I was dodging. Love that. Fifth attempt just went bad, that was my B. Sixth attempt I landed on them this time. Crazy that I already spent more time in this than the final boss. After that attempt I decided to actually put out some effort into my charms now. I did have a few decent ones that I haven't taken full advantage of yet. Dream boss deaths don't count as actual deaths, so I can also have the fragile strength without breaking if I die. That attempt did go way better, and I was able to heal much more freely with that one charm, but I did prioritize damage sometimes with Spirit, so I did end up dying. It's a lot longer a fight than I expected. The 8th attempt went way worse, but somehow that was my successful attempt, netting me 300 essence, which is way more than I expected. Okay, now where to? Where I did mark all the places on the map where we need to collect things for the true ending. So checking what's nearest to me right now, Kingdom's Edge isn't actually that far, so we can go get the King's Brand next. We took the tram to the far, that direction, and then started climbing up the Kingdom's Edge. I sort of accidentally found Hornet. I thought it was way higher in the map to be honest. Maybe I should have healed before I went into the fight, but I did get my health up eventually. and then I died, of course. Since I was back in the bench, I did just put on a better combat charm set. I think I should have it by now. Only realized my run back that there was this bench up here too. Oops. Sure enough, despite being a little messy, I did get her second try. So King's Brand gotten. Checking back on my pins, it just looked like maybe going back to the Ancient Basin for Shade Cloak is the best way to go about it, as I do need it for progression in a few areas, so might as well. Regardless, I think that works to the path I have in mind. So back down we go. Back to the left with this tram this time. There's much to discuss in the Abyss, light up the lighthouse, and then made my way straight to Shade Cloak. So where to now? Well, our end goal for the stretch is the Queen's Garden for one half of the King's Soul. So on the way, we're going to a few things to get more essence, first being the White Defender. So as we ascend into City of Tears, let's take a quick detour to the Royal Waterways. I didn't even find the bench, I just went straight to Dung Defender, beat him first try, as expected. Then White Defender went very sloppily, but I was able to tank and heal most of the way into the victory. Shortly after, I went to do Soul Tyrant for more essence. I did change up my charms for this one, because this one will be more rough, I imagine. Which might have been overkill, because I did the best in this fight that I have in this segment of the run, and got a first try. I guess I had this fight burnt in my muscle memory, a lot harder than something like Lost Kin. With 1200 essence, we don't have a ton left we need to kill for the Wicked Gem now, so now I made my way to Queen's Garden, the first proper normal sized area to explore for the true ending, the last couple being shorter and not that big of an expedition. I did kill Who while on the way, which is a shame. I saw them live, good band. I ended up having to take this route below Evergrown Mound because the other two paths into Queen's Garden require the asset upgrade, and I just didn't feel like getting it at this point, which is kind of funny as a bit given how much I was able to skip getting it until now. So I felt like keeping it up. Now despite it being a full proper area, I didn't have a ton to say about it. There was a few tougher platform challenges than the rest of the game, same with waves of enemies, but after another game, they do kind of feel like child's play. I did find and kill Marmul while I was here though. On to Trader Lord, I kind of went in with low health in the fight to begin with, though I did end up healing back up, it didn't matter much. Later I lost my rhythm after a bit and died. Despite having a few close calls, I did beat him second try, so on our way to get the first half of the King's Soul. Don't just drop it in the floor, lady, what the fuck? I'm a little over 200 essence needed to have the 1800, so going to get those before descending once more, and I think what I'll do is go back above ground for Howling Cliffs, kill Gorb, then we're just over 100 short. There's one of those essence tree here too, that left us at 70 left. Totally not forgetting about Felt Champion. Only had 2 trees left marked on my map. One was in Deep Nest, so that was a big hell no. The other one was in Crystal Peak, so I decided to go for that one, because I also go take the trip back to get that one item I wanted up there that needed the Monarch Wings. So I did that, got the tree essence, needed only 52 left, which might work out nicely with my plan, and then finished the ascent and got a pale ore here. From there I took that one drop I accidentally took earlier in the run from Crystal Peak to get to the resting grounds. The first I checked out the crystallized mound and got the wombo combo of a lifetime. What the? What? What even just happened? What? Anyway, I talked to Seer. I still only have 1,753 essence, but if you recall, the Spirit Glaive also has its own essence tree. So I opened that, alongside getting a pale ore and another fragment, enough to get another mask. Oh, and Dream Gate, but as I said earlier, can't use it. So I got the tree essences, and that should be just enough to... How many ghosts are there in this Spirit Glade? Sorry, Kickstarter backers. Ah! Alright, after only a little bit of grade defiling, I had enough to awaken the dream now. Meaning we are set to go for the last few checks, required to unlock the true ending. I took the left down from Resting Grounds to City of Tears, took the chance to upgrade my nail probably for the final time, even though there's one more upgrade available. Then went to the Ancient Basin, to the Palace Grounds, for White Palace. I originally didn't have much to comment on with White Palace, I was just gonna blast through it with the video. But turns out I died 3 times? I had a few close calls during the 3 lights thing, but I managed without dying. And then I died 3 times in the same segment after those, which is obnoxious. I was going to joke that we should do Path of Pain, but hell no. I wanna be done already. And luckily for me, we got the second half of the King's Soul, united it, equipped it on the bench outside the White Palace, and we can immediately go to the Abyss. Not that far away, drop down, dream nail this egg, and then after a climb up, we turn it into the Void Heart. Kinda cruel to have us make this climb out of the abyss twice in a row though, given that little memory cutscene thing was playable. From there, I went into the City of Tears, took this lift up to the resting grounds, then to get to Infected Crossroads, I took the last train home. And then I made it to the Black Egg Temple. This is it, folks. Just 2 fights left, and we have gotten a true ending without fast traveling. I put on appropriate charms for this fight, and went in. The Hollow Knight fight went pretty fast. I guess that's what having 2 more upgrades since the last fight, plus Fragile Strength will do. Then of course we face off against Radiance. The fight went incredibly well for me. I guess once you do Absolute Radiance, it is burned into your soul. And yeah, in short order, I destroyed the infection. But why stop here? Okay, no, I'm not getting another ending. Unless? Nah, I'm done. So yeah, regardless of which ending you go for, it seems, you are perfectly able to beat Hollow Knight without having to fast travel anywhere. It was a little more fun than I expected, but admittedly it was also tiring, taking around 16 hours for a true ending. And you certainly can tell in some ways that this game wasn't quite designed for this, despite it being possible. So, in terms of whether I would recommend you do a run like this, I think if you enjoyed this game plenty, and you don't mind playthroughs like this, go for it. But just know it will take some time, so take it at your own leisure, and take plenty of breaks. Oh, by the way, I'm using a Solaire skin. Figured I should mention it.